Every time I'm in Venice, I feel that in a way it's not real, because it was created as an island built on trees that were sunk in the sea. That's why it's also beginning to drown, because it was made, it was not there by nature. We used nature in order to build that, and it looks a bit like a Walt Disney movie. Yeah, there's something not human there, not natural there. Okay, because we did that. Sometimes feel the same in high-rise buildings. It's like we're provoking something. We're arguing with something that we shouldn't. The climate crisis now, it's because we are arguing with something instead of listening and acknowledging what is. So the permission, the inner permission to say maybe not, the inner permission to say maybe yes, even if I have a hard time, the permission to say maybe I need to lead and stop asking him to be a partner because he doesn't seem to lead us somewhere and I can. The option of being there, creating a new dimension with other women, inviting men to. The option of stopping to wait for men to deliver whatever we are used to think that they should or may deliver, without giving up on them, without stopping to love them. This is what the lab is all about. And that's why when we enter the lab, we need to immerse ourselves all together. First of all, as we are writing this, and this is why it takes time, because we need to go through each and every beginning with our own lives, okay? Allowing this. We've gone in those 2 years, both of us, we've gone through a lot concerning men. We've gone through pain and hope and anger and giving up on them and then coming back, and each one in her own phase of life, in her own age. Yeah, but we've gone through a lot and it wasn't easy. And there were times where you didn't want to listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, because you ruined it to me.
Yeah, in a way, I did.
And that's what I was thinking when I talked with my friend, and I was like careful with what I'm saying, because it can...
On one side, on one side. But the other side is that, and of course I was thinking the same. I was saying to you, if you want to leave the book, go. If you don't want to write it anymore, allow yourself not to write it anymore. Because first of all, we really don't know what each path of our lives awaits for us. And on the other hand, it's also okay to say, it's too complicated for me, it's too painful for me. I'm afraid that I would start hating men because of what we're doing, and I don't want to hate men. Okay, it's okay. We don't need to be on our best appearances all the time. It's not real, it's not true, we can't. But on the other hand, and there is another hand, on the other hand, crushing ourselves again and again in the same illusions, age after age, generation after generation, maybe it's time to stop. Maybe it's time to stop enhancing. You know, even when you start speaking about the magic, and when you began to speak about it, you looked like a teenager speaking about that. And I sat here and I said, come on, in myself. I was talking to myself. I said, come on, Noah. You're not there anymore. Okay? And there is magic. There is magic. And there are different kinds of magic, and we shouldn't give up on them. But they would look differently, and they would also come from a really different place, yeah, which is not an illusion. They're coming from the source. They're overwhelming in their greatness, in them being miraculous and gorgeous and beautiful and surprising and shocking and rocking the boat. But they will come from being aware and not from creating illusions. One of my first real coaches said to me that he loves going to weddings because that's a place where you can very clearly see people getting into something that they have no idea what they're getting into. Okay? Now, if I embrace this, I will have one kind of life. And if I reject this or do everything in my power to keep this picture, this illusion for the rest of my life, then maybe I would go through many plastic surgeries. Maybe I would go through many denials and fog that I would spread on inside me and outside, trying to not see, trying to not grasp, trying to not feel what's really happening, and then fall into like a pier of an elevator without understanding how the hell this is happening and how did I not see. Okay, for example, when I'm coaching now a couple that is separating, and she wanted to separate, and he says, I don't get it. I don't see anything. Why does she want to separate? And I asked him, and I suggested to him with a smile and a lot of love, maybe it's time to ask, how did I not see? Because this is what she's separating from. Because if I live my life as a character in a movie or as a figure in a painting, then I need to wake up. Because life is not a painting. And it's good news that life is not a painting, and it's also not a movie.
Exactly. So I think this is the deepest switch. And it has two layers, like the switch of life is not a movie, it's not a script, it's not a picture, and it's not in my control. To switch from this is bad news to this is good news. And in order to do that, I need to go a step deeper and into the switch of I am not my needs. Because when I practice knowing that I'm not my needs and nothing really happens to me, not really, when I don't get what I want or when I don't get what I think I need, I'm still here, I'm still gorgeous, I'm still vibrating, I'm still essential, then I'm really in life as it is, as I am in every moment. And I remembered now that you were talking that on one of our first fights, me and my ex, we were fighting, and I noticed that the fight is essential. Like there is something here. It's not like whatever. There's something here. There's a gap here in the way we approach life, and this will come again. And I am old enough to know that that's how it is when you fight. So I told him, let's not try to protect the relationship. Let's be very awake to the tendency that we have to not say this or not do that because we don't want to provoke, because we want to protect, because we want to stay together, then let's not do that. Let's do our best to be genuine, to be authentic, to behave from where we're really at, to speak from where we're really at, and bring ourselves to the shared space of our relationship as we really are. Because any manipulation we will do on ourselves, we will pay the price at some point. If we're not real, this cannot be.
Yeah.
And I said it and I got scared the second I said it, because I knew that now if I'm keeping my word, if I'm going to walk this talk, nothing external will hold us together.
Right. And also not your fears. Because in order to walk your talk here, you need to feel the fear, of nothing is holding you, and you're also not blurring anything. You're not bending anything so that the boat won't be rocked. But you are saying what you need to say, and you are looking at what needs to be looked at. And that is rocking the boat. And it's rocking the boat not necessarily to a bad place, but it will show whatever needs to be seen now when the boat is rocked.
Yeah. And it will show the, like you say, the true nature of the relationship. And a relationship I don't think it's something that you and me and then there's together. I really feel that a relationship, any kind of relationship, is a third entity. It has its own character. It has its own voice. That's currently how I feel. And we don't only have to listen to ourselves, maybe not even at all. We want to listen to what the bond is asking us, what our shared, this third entity is saying. It's hard. It's hard to know who I'm listening to.